This is exceptional because part of the healing that I used to recommend for women with problems, reproductive problems, is to change the quality of the underwear. Number one,
Mm,
they were putting on these artificial fabrics that would impede the centripetal energies necessary to offset the centrifugal energies because a woman's reproductive system being magnetic draws energy, which is why I tell men, especially if they're weak or they feel weak or anything, that they shouldn't spoon with a woman because she's actually taking energy unconsciously through her yoni. And unless he is strong, you'll find that he may have problems. So what I tell her to do if she has like fibroid tumors or if she's dealing with certain types of feminine illness, such as endometriosis and so forth, that she goes to a place where there is fresh earth. And I'm not talking about the earth that has been polluted with all types of pesticides and so forth. The earth that she has to sit on, barely, you just take a very thin cotton cloth and put it on the earth, and for her to sit naked on the cloth as comfortably as possible, preferably in a semi or full lotus, and to do certain breathing techniques that call the yoni or the yoni itself to start breathing and cause inhaling and breathing so that the electrostatic energies begin to normalize or to release the blockage of the flow that's in her womb that would have collected in a certain area as a fibroid tumor. Um, that would usually certain cysts and fibroids such as that accumulate in that area because of not only her habits, sexual eating habits, and so forth, but because her thought process has created an impediment in the womb. Every time a woman has, say, for instance, a psychological trauma or her ego has been damaged in some way, the wound itself becomes the uh, the sounding board for that implosion and implosive thought process. And a scar, a psychospiritual scar, an etheric scar is formed around the womb area that, should she continue the kind of thinking process and the kind of habits, that the body begins to defend itself by putting an enormous amount of fibrin, which is materials that the body creates in order to heal areas. So a woman with a fibroid has a an inordinate amount of or collections of fibrin in that area because of the damage that her thoughts, her habits, her emotions has caused in that area. So sitting on fresh earth and helping to normalize the electromagnetic, electrostatic energies that are in that area normalizes the flow and brings more blood to the area so that more nurturing and healing blood ends up in that area. I just want to close by saying that grounding is good as us physiologically, and if you want to deal with the physiological components of grounding. But the first thing that has to happen is the the brain and your thinking process. Matter follows mind. That's the first thing we must understand. Matter follows mind. And because matter follows mind, the body is going to obey the mind, even though the elements around there wants to help the body, wants to normalize it. There may be impediments based upon certain thought processes that have accumulated in the index of one's memory bank, if you understand what I mean. And the habit or the proclivity towards self judgment creates certain conditions that impede what nature wants to heal. So, grounding first has to take place by an inventory of specific thought processes that that contribute to the short circuiting of that natural flow that nature mother gives you. The fact that we don't walk barefoot on earth anymore is also that impediment. The fact that we have rubber as our soles and we walk through certain areas with rubber on our soles. Rubber is not a very is not a very good conductor. It's a good insulator in certain areas, or certain things that we have in our feet tend to impede that natural collection or that natural connection we have to earth. So the first thing I would say is that yes, there are mechanical things that essentially uh, contribute to the grounding. But if we do not ground as above as below, if we do not ground above as we are grounding below, then whatever it is that nature has to offer becomes a gift that is lost.